Welcome to Irise Conversations with Joan. My name is Joan Wosu, and I'm the award-winning author of the book Irise: The 10 Secrets to Getting Up When Life Knocks You Down. Yeah.
Okay. And I've made some mistakes, some huge mistakes.
Yeah, but you're still standing.
Absolutely. It's
about learning from those mistakes, and when you asked for 12,000, you got 12,000, and then you realized, okay, that's not it, and you did your homework now, and went back. You learned, okay, so I didn't go to business school, but with the help of the banker, you were able to put together a business plan, and you just kept moving, and you got the money, and you kept moving. So it's not about how many times you fall, really. It's about how many times getting up every single time that you fall. And
absolutely.
And I like what you also said about, you not being the person to hire people. So you just give it to whoever's best at doing it. It's not I must do it. I want to be the boss. I want them to respect me because if you suck at it, just let it go. Let someone else do it. So know where your strengths are and just focus on that. Find business partners that complement that. Have strengths when you're weak, not both of you just having the same strength. So I think that balance really works, and being able to really identify what your strengths are. But we always want fun. So yeah, please hire some fun people as well. Come on. Okay. So 2019 was a good year, and then 2020, COVID hit. And a lot of businesses globally suffered. So what was the impact of COVID on your business? What did you have to do to be recovered?
Well, we had to downsize, so we moved premises. Luckily, we were on the same streets, but we've downsized considerably. Now we don't have any staff. It's just myself and Audrey. But to be fair, has it been negative? No. At first, I think I was very emotionally attached to that building. I'd been there for a very long time. I knew every nook and cranny. I put in every light fitting, every tile, everything. So to leave it behind was heart-wrenching. But now, what are we now? April, so nearly 6 months in. It was the biggest. It's the best thing that we could have done. The financial climate right now is so uncertain. Business is so uncertain, and the lease was it was more than we could bear. And luckily for us, our lease expired in March. So we had a 20-year lease. It expired in March. We had the option to renew, and we just decided not to.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Downsizing. So I think the pandemic really taught the whole world something. Be ready to pivot. You can't just move into what you've been doing and say, oh no, this is my baby, making emotional decisions. Being able to just say, okay, this is what it is. We need to make a decision. We need to downsize. I know I love this building, but hey, the economy right now is not as it used to be. And we need to, and you were open to doing it. So it's not a time for people to feel like, oh, people are going to laugh at me. Because a lot of the time, it's really the other people we're thinking about. Oh, people are going to look at me. They're going to laugh at me. They're going to judge me. They're going to say, oh, whatever. But you have to do what is right for your business. Business is never easy.
Joan, you should know this about me by now. You should know this about me by now. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care.
More people were like that, where you don't care. But a lot of people are so hell-bent on other people's validation. You want to please everybody else. You want to look good in front of everybody. So even though deep down inside of you probably know what the right thing is to do, you're like, oh no, I'll just go take out another loan and just kill myself just to keep and hold on to this building. So that is the right attitude to have, where what other people think about you is not your business. You need to look at your life and determine what's right for you at every point in time, and just make that decision.
Exactly. I used to be a people pleaser. I used to care what people think, but nobody ain't paying my bills. Nobody ain't putting petrol in my car. So why do I care what you think?
Exactly.
They're very lucky. No.
Okay, good. So you guys have downsized to a new you said the same street.
We're on the same street.
Okay, which is good.
Yeah, so basically now where we're at, there's 4 businesses in one. So it was a salon that was, you've been to my salon, so you know the size of it. Mm-hmm. So you remember where we had the yard in the garden? Mm-hmm. This salon has built an extension. So they used to have an academy at the back of their salon, but obviously COVID hit, so the academy closed down. So they had the empty space available. So we took the space. So now there's 2 salons in one, and it works.
Okay. Because your clientele is still your clientele. You built your brand over 20 years. Like, you know, people will go with you. So again, be good at what you do. When you're really good at what you do, your customers will follow you.
Totally. But hairdressing has changed. The heady days of the great hairdresser are over. I think that YouTube, Instagram, all of these little young girls that, you know, mix oils together in a little bottle and spray it in the hair and claim that it grows this long, that has killed the hairdressing industry. Hairdressing has changed a lot, and I'm not getting any younger. I'm going to be 50 in December. So what I'm doing at the moment, I'm studying trichology, which I've almost finished.
Okay.
So once I qualify as a
trichology,
so basically trichology is the study of hair and scalp. So rather than just being somebody that can style hair, I can now diagnose scalp conditions and hair loss conditions.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So I like, so, you know, you started off saying, you know, the hair industry has changed and now you found a way to do something different. So a lot of people still wear a lot of wigs, but under the wigs, there's some horrifying stories going on beneath.
Oh, there's some problems.
So being able to study that and help people, I think a lot of women want to be able to grow their natural hair, but now we just have wigs and we just put the wigs in and we look good. Then at night you're like, ugh.
I think part of the reason that I wanted to get into trichology, number one, the money, and number two, because I was going through my own hair loss journey. So I started to lose my hairline about 6-7 years ago. And I'm a hairdresser, so obviously that's devastating to me. Like, where's my hairline gone? So I was wearing wigs constantly. If I wasn't wearing wigs, I'd just shave my hair off completely and just rock it bald, because obviously my hairline starting back here wasn't a good look, and I was embarrassed by it, and I wouldn't really like to show it and stuff. And then I got to the point where I don't care, like it's who I am, you know. So I made a conscious decision that I'm going to go on Facebook Live with no wig on. And that's what I did. Do you know what I mean? And nobody said anything. They might have sniggered in the background. They might have had a conversation over their coffee about Nina Graywood's hair. Yeah. But nobody said anything to my face. And as far as I'm concerned, I've embraced who I am. I'm not embarrassed by it or ashamed of it. It's who I am, and it's what's happened to me. So I'm not going to hide away. Do you know what I mean?
It's just hair. It doesn't define who you are. And it doesn't define whether you're beautiful or not. Because beauty is all internal. Oh, wow. Okay. So I do have friends who've gone through hair loss. And like you said, a lot of people just slap a wig on it. Well, what advice would you have for ladies? Because it's happening more and more. Like women in their 20s and their 30s, they're starting to lose their hair.
So there's so many varying reasons why you could be losing your hair. Mine, I attribute now to menopause. At the time, I did not know. I just thought, oh my God, my hair's falling out. But as I'm getting older, and as my clientele are getting older, because obviously they're getting older with me, I'm seeing more and more of the same kind of stuff. When women start to approach menopause and perimenopause or menopause age, they start to lose their crown. Their hairline starts to get thinner. That's why when you see older women, they've normally got short haircuts. Yeah. Simply because as we get older, our hair gets thinner. It grows slower. Do you know what I mean? So there's lots of different ways. The contraceptive pill can contribute to hair loss, stress, diet. There's so many things, and there's so much more pressure on women now. Do you get what I mean? So there's so much stuff that can contribute to women losing their hair. So much stuff.
Okay.
And the thing is as well, because we ignore it and because we hide it by putting on a wig, we don't address the problem.
Exactly.
Because you don't have to face it, you know?
Yeah. Wow. So when are you graduating? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people who probably want to start getting help, you know, but probably don't know where to go. Like you said, there's all these people selling all this ointments and oils on social media, and a lot of those things don't work.
Snake oil.
Snake
oil. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
it's all snake.
Where
snake
can they go? So if people wanted to reach out and start getting help now, where can they go? Is that something you can help them with right now?
I mean, yeah, I'm open to give anybody advice. I mean, they can if they go to my Facebook page, Nina Gray would inbox me. Go to my Instagram, Nina PhD. You can inbox me on there, and I'm quite happy to give advice. I don't qualify until next year. I was supposed to qualify this year, but I deferred my study because during the lockdown I wasn't coping, so I stopped studying for a little while. But I'm back on it now, so hopefully I'll be qualified by next year.
Great. So there you have it, guys. You know, follow her on social media, and if you're starting to lose your hair, don't panic. There might be help. So reach out to her, and maybe she'll be able to help you. Okay, so a few years ago, I was surprised to learn that you were an organ donor. I don't know many people who've done that. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if I would yet. But you did. So why did you do it? How did you choose to do it? And since then, have you had any regrets?
Have I had any regrets? No, I wouldn't say I've had regrets. Why did I do it? Do you know what, Joan? I'm very random, as you know, and how it all started. There was an ex-client of ours, and she used to have dialysis in a hospital down the road from our shop. So she used to go past the shop on her way to the hospital. And whenever she used to go past, she'd make the driver stop. We'd run outside, say hi, have a little conversation, and go back in. That was it. And then she used to be big. I mean, she was a big woman, like, I don't know, 22 stone. She was big. And then one occasion, I went outside to say hello to her. And Joan, she was like you. She was tiny. She'd lost so much weight. Yeah. And it was like, oh my God, she's like a skeleton. And I went back inside the salon and I said to Audrey, you know what, Audrey? I'm going to give my kidney to Maggie. So Audrey's like, all right. All right then, Nina. Yeah, go on then. Because I'm always doing something random. So I said, no, seriously, I'm going to. So I phoned Maggie that evening. And when I was talking to her, she said that unfortunately she was too ill. She wasn't even on the dialysis. Sorry, she wasn't even on the donor list. Yeah. She was just having dialysis. She was too ill. But she said that she knew somebody else that needed a kidney. So I'm like, okay then. And it so happens that I knew this person's mum. The mum was one of Audrey's clients, funnily enough. So I contacted her. We had a conversation. And she said to get in touch with the Living Donor Organisation at the Royal Free Hospital, and that they would take it from there. So I said, all right then. So I contacted them. I told them that I wanted to do. I spoke to her daughter who needed the kidney. I told her that I was happy to get tested and blah, blah, blah. She was over the moon. She couldn't believe it. And she couldn't understand why, because we didn't know each other. But yeah. I just felt like it was the right thing to do. Anyway, all my friends tried to convince me not to do it. My family tried to convince me not to do it. But I just couldn't, and I still can't. I couldn't understand why not. Like, you don't feel your kidneys. You don't know whether you've got them or not. So why would you not give one to somebody else? You're not going to miss it, you know. So it took about a year. We had to go back and forth for different tests. I had to get psychologically evaluated. They check your finances to make sure that you're not doing it for monetary gain. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff you have to go through. And then eventually we did it. I think it's about 7 years ago now, 8 years ago maybe. Yeah, and that was it. I was in the hospital for a week. Then I was off work I was meant to be off work for 6 weeks. I was off work for 3. Yeah, and that was it.
I'm ready. I'm back to work. Wow, that is like I don't think there's any greater sacrifice than giving not just someone your kidney, but someone that you didn't even have a relationship with. Like if it was
John, if you said to me to give her my left hand or to give her my foot, she'd still be waiting.
No, but still, it's still major surgery. Like, it's still major. It's a big deal. Like, not many people would do it, or else, your friends and family won't be trying to talk you out of it. Not many people would do it.
And that's the thing that I can't get my head around. I've talked about this on radio. I've been on TV, talked about it. What I don't understand is you're asleep. Maybe because I've got no fear of needles, and I do quite like the anesthetic thing. I like the whole going to sleep thing. So maybe that's why I'm not scared by that. But you're asleep, and when you wake up, it's over. If they said to me they're going to lay me on a table and cut me open with a rusty sword and I'm going to have no anesthetic, like I said, all now my girl would still be waiting. But I knew that I wasn't going to feel anything, so why?
Well, we need more people like you. That's just the truth. And I do hope that the world changes for the better. I thought initially with the pandemic, people would become more loving. Yeah, in some ways, some people are more loving. But I think we've kind of just gone back to where now it's the vaccinated against the non-vaccinated. It's always for humans. Yeah, I really hope we can just bring that humanity, that humaneness back to humanity. So people are really looking out for each other and really wondering, asking the question, what if it was me? And I think that's a good mindset to have. What if it was me? Wouldn't I want someone to give me their kidney? I would. Why shouldn't I be willing to give someone my kidney?
Totally.
Good for thought. Not this year, though. Ask me next. Ask me 10 years. I'm just keeping it real.